it's real important for us to always remember why we're doing what we're doing. It's, one of your speakers said a little while ago, y'all all have PTSD. Considering the year and a half we've been through, that's not real surprising. It's frankly real surprising most of us still have any sense at all. But we sometimes have to just stop and say, but why am I doing this? Why does this matter? And that I kind of kept grounded, because I can assure you I was real tired sometimes, besides working and weekend work and after hours work and grading those students' papers. And my daughters, when they were younger, were in everything just like Molly's son, and you're running. I frankly don't know how I did it. Now, I know I'm too old now, and I certainly couldn't do it anymore. But that was a part of what kept me grounded. Why am I doing this? Think about why you were doing what you're doing, and how you want to do it, and how you want to do things for your children. And we'll talk a little bit about maybe how we can help you with some of that. Just as an aside, this is an update on the things that matter most. And there will be a grandson joining us in December, which we are very excited about. Unfortunately, he will live in New Jersey. So you know, what can you do? Another part of my sacred bundle is this bread bowl that belonged to my great-grandmother and then to my grandmother, and it eventually got passed to me. Some of the things, an image I have of my grandmother is her making homemade biscuits in that bread bowl. And you know, I don't know if any of y'all remember or ever saw, you know, now people, you roll out the dough when you cut the biscuit. My grandmother didn't do that. She mixed it up, she pinched it off, patted it. I couldn't do that, but that's what she did. Some of my memories of her are her making those homemade biscuits. She'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, she'd make biscuits and grits and ham, and then she'd go to work. It was important to her to nourish the physical needs of her family, and she was concerned about the financial needs. Education was important to my grandmother because she didn't get very much. She was only able to go to the 3rd grade. My grandmother and my grandfather were born in a little mill town, and when they were, kids didn't get to go to school. I mean, when they were about 9 or 10 years old, they went to work in the mill. And that always bothered my grandmother a lot, because she felt like she couldn't read her Bible and understand it as well as she wanted to, because she didn't have enough education. Again, I sometimes wonder, are we telling the story enough to our kids to understand what a gift education is, and how poor people, minority people, they didn't get it. You know, you just didn't get to have it. It is, as our first speaker said, knowledge is power. And maybe we need to unbundle some stuff sometimes to tell them, look, this is the way it was. Education is important to me. I went to Auburn University, and Auburn has a creed, and the second line of our creed is, I believe in education, which gives me the knowledge to work wisely and trains my mind and hands to work skillfully. I feel like a lot of what I am professionally, I certainly owe to the professors there, who did train me to think, who trained me, you know, not just facts, but how to utilize those facts. But before I got there, I was here at Reeltown High School, where teachers trained, instructed, guided, encouraged the very things that y'all are doing now to help your students move up to where they need to go, to where they can go, to where they have the potential to go. Because my grandparents only went to the 3rd grade and had to go to work in the textile mill. My father had a little bit of college, but not very much, and he had to go to work in the textile mill. So, you know, the progression that you get, the importance of education as people move on, we do want to encourage that. Okay, so that's kind of my story, but what's Healthy Wellness Initiative's story? Well, it's a collaboration between us at Public Health and the Department of Education. I'm not sure exactly, but I know it's been over 15 years. I'm not sure exactly how long we have had this collaboration. But mostly what we do is provide information and training in a lot of different ways to the 21st century grantees. Basically, we're looking at nutrition, physical activity, and overall wellness. That's the kind of information we have for you. So in a little more detail, what we provide, and I do want to just say that we have a lot of materials on our table out there, and one of the things is just a flyer of what we do. But we have newsletter we send out electronically. I send out lots of emails of different things I find, like some gardening grants. I sent some of that out just recently, and we have a website on the public health website. We do presentations like what we're doing here. We do it for at other places. We also support presentations like usually we'll support a speaker at an annual event, or we have regional trainings. This past year, we supported virtual training by the Catch Kids Club to look at how doing physical activity virtually and some of the ways to return safely to the classroom. We do trainings for your staff. We do a lot of trainings on Catch Kids Club, and we give you some of the, there's a box that comes with the different activities. There's a manual, so we can do that. We often will go out to schools and do a little something with students, either on nutrition or physical activity. We tend to do those more in the summer, but we do it when you ask us to, and when we're able to do that. For parents programs, I have gone to a couple of parents programs, but I've also provided a lot of materials for parent programs. A new item that we have that was developed this past year is on food insecurity, with a lot of resources, because over the past year a lot of families lost their jobs, a lot of people had to go to food banks and do things they never had to do before, and they didn't know some of the places to go. Lots of educational materials. We have wonderful graphic artists at Public Health. They do great things for us. I mean, it looks really, really good. One of the things most recently, and I have those out there, is the ABC of Alabama Foods. It's just real pretty and real cute. We have a handout and a flyer. I did send out a survey electronically back in August because we kind of want to know, what do y'all want from us? What can we do for you? And then based on that, we've kind of tailored some of the things that we're doing to be more responsive to you. So that's a little bit about Healthy Wellness Initiative story, and now Molly is going to tell you the rest of the story.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank y'all so much for letting us be here at your first day to tell you a little bit about our story. Linda did a great job in telling her story and a little bit about healthy wellness and what we can do for your program. So I'm going to tell the rest of the story. Okay. So she's given you a snapshot of what we do, who we are, and I guess I'm going to wrap it up by explaining why this is important. Why does good health matter to us? Why does it matter to you? Why does it matter to the kids and their families that you are working with? We know that health can really impact your quality of life. It can, it can cause financial stress. It can cause burdens on the family. It can impact how a child is performing in school. And we want to take all that into consideration and really work to incorporate health into our everyday routine, even in the after-school program, because it does make a difference and it does impact us. How does it impact me? Well, here's my son. Linda showed a picture of her children, so I wanted to show one of mine. He's my precious little boy with beautiful blue eyes. He is drinking a Mountain Dew in this picture, which I don't love. I don't know where he got that from, but I want to be healthy for him. I am an older mom, and, I don't want him to have to push me around in a wheelchair one day. Now, eventually, I'm sure we'll get to that point, but I don't want it to come any sooner than it has to. So he is why I really think about health. I want to be healthy for him. Okay, I just real quick wanted to share with you some of the new obesity data that has come out. I know this is kind of bringing down the presentation a little bit, but I wanted to share it because our rates have continued to go up. Our current rate is 39%, and that is adult obesity rate, and that is for 2020. They always kind of put it out a year behind. That is up from 36% the year before. So, of course, when this came out, reporters started calling, is it because of COVID? Did this happen because of COVID? And it's really hard to say. It's really hard to say, but what I can tell you is that's a pretty significant jump for the state of Alabama. Now, other states, the obesity rate went down, so you kind of think, well, somehow they survived COVID without their obesity rates going up. But so it's possible our rates were just going up anyway. I'm not sure, but I wanted to share that with you. Also, we are number 3 in the nation for obesity. We are behind West Virginia and Mississippi. And that's pretty common. All the southern states tend to be at the top of the obesity list, unfortunately. Our children, about 21.8% are categorized as obese. And this is probably the age group you all are serving. And they are ranked number 5 in the nation. So again, you see the impact it has on our state. What we're doing as far as health is concerned can make a difference. So I always kind of say the bottom line is really about prevention of health problems rather than the treatment. Now, as a dietitian, Linda and I both went to school, and I really imagined myself working in a hospital, and I did a little bit, helping people that were sick. That was what a dietitian did. We helped people who were already sick to eat better. Well, gosh, why didn't we do that before? Why didn't we do that before they got sick and put in the hospital? So that's the work we do, is prevention, and that's where all of you come into play. You're working with young children and young families. It's an opportunity to make an impact at a young age so that as they grow into adults, they'll continue healthy habits for the rest of their life. The role of good nutrition. I think we all know this. It aids in proper growth, proper development. It can prevent certain conditions like anemia in children or osteoporosis later in life. It can also impact dental cavities and reduce obesity. And maybe this is something you weren't aware of, but it does have a connection to school performance. Children that are well nourished just do better in school. So again, it's a very important role for our students. Okay, we talk a lot about physical activity as well because nutrition and physical activity really go hand in hand. So we want to make sure our kids are active. I heard one of the presentations earlier, and they were talking about how after school should be fun and exciting. And yes, let physical activity be a part of that because we know there are a lot of health benefits and cognitive benefits for children that are physically active. We all want to move more. This is important for all of us. So 30 minutes a day for adults, and we want children to be physically active for at least 60 minutes a day. Okay? And maybe they're getting some of those minutes with you in after school. We want that at least 5 days a week. So we want physical activity to be fun. We don't want it to be used as punishment. You know what I'm talking about? We don't want it to be used as punishment. We want it to be fun. We want it to be inclusive. We want all children to participate in physical activity. That's another area where our division has done a lot of work in, and that's in making sure that children with disabilities are included in programs, whether it's a physical activity program or a nutrition program. We can find ways to let them participate and be involved. Sitting is the new smoking, okay? Have y'all heard that? So we sit too long, it's not good for our health, so we want to make sure we're taking all these breaks. I love that we've got a lot of breaks in between each session so that we can get up and move and get that blood flowing again. And brain boosters, I think this is a really great way to get the blood pumping for our children so that they're able to continue concentrating on their work and able to focus. It really can make a big difference. So hopefully during the day, the kids are getting time to take a little activity break, even in the classroom. Okay, so what can we all do? Well, we really want to create a culture of health that is normal and part of your routine. So that is my hope, is that you're able to incorporate it into your day every day. Not just for, it's health week or it's nutrition month, so we're really going to focus in on, doing some fun activities around nutrition or letting the kids be involved in physical activity. We want to do that every day if possible. I know there are other activities y'all have to complete, but we want it to be a normal part of the routine and not some special activity necessarily. Take baby steps, start small, and then, just a reminder that healthy choices don't have to be stressful, especially for children. They don't have to be kind of pointed out necessarily. Let's offer them. Let's be healthy, good, role models for the children so that they are encouraged by our behaviors as well. So that's where the Healthy Wellness Initiative can step in and help you. Linda mentioned some of the different resources and things that we can do for your program, so don't hesitate to contact us. We are out in the hallway. We have cards out there, so please email us, call us. We'll come to you. We can do trainings for you and your staff. We enjoy that. We like to get out and be with the programs, and so we're very willing to get in the car and come to you, so don't hesitate to contact us. Here's our email information. And we hope to hear from you all soon. Thanks so much.
Okay, you all have a minute and a half to stretch in your seats while we get the PowerPoint up and running or the spreadsheets up.
You go.
Oh, well. It didn't show up.
Oh, but it's not showing. I wonder why it won't show.